Hi guys, and welcome back to Cryptochesterg. I'm here today to give you the Friday summary live crypto stream that I've been waiting to do all week here. We're going to be going through Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame, the mid-term time frame, and of course the macro time frame for Bitcoin. And then we're going to be going into some altcoins. We're going to be touching on the bubbles as well. We're going to do some fear and greed index. We might even look at the stock and flow for when the next halving is for Bitcoin as well. Some very interesting stuff to be coming through. Going to be looking for the next trade of the day that we could be taking today for Bitcoin, depending on where the price is going to go. So we're going to be looking at that. Unfortunately, from yesterday, didn't quite get what we were looking for, and yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine if we don't do that. So yeah, going to be starting off with Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame, and then obviously moving through to everything else here. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Looking at Bitcoin right now, guys, from yesterday on the hourly chart, we have taken a little bit of a tumble, obviously topping out at around 44,500. Pretty significant high put in there for Bitcoin, and now we're seeing a bit of a pullback. Hey, it's absolutely fine to have a pullback from these areas because we have been rallying, guys. We've been rallying for so long now in this parabolic motion to the upside. It's kind of expected for us to have this have these pullbacks coming into fruition here. So what we're going to do, we're going to be looking at chart patterns. We're going to be looking at where we can actually be getting in. So let's get rid of this TA for a second, and let's just start fresh. Let's start fresh. We're going to be obviously doing a trend line, something along the lines of this, guys. The reasoning for this is for the new traders out there, you can see that we've got resistance coming through from this area. Very, very strong continuously. Very, very, very strong resistance. So what does that tell us? It tells us that there's resistance from this zone, and the likelihood of us coming down when we test it is ever so more likely. But also, with that being said, if we break it to the upside, we're breaking this resistance now, and that means we could be finding support, and that could mean momentum to the upside, a move that we could be looking for. Now, in terms of a chart pattern, guys, let's look at chart pattern, because this is sort of something that I'm favoring right now. It is going to be a falling parallel channel, and it is in fact a bear flag, guys, because it's at the top of this uptrend and it's like a flag coming down, right? So these tend to usually break to the upside. They are continuation chart patterns. So in terms of what we could be looking for here, it's going to be a little move. It's not going to be huge. It's going to be a little move, and it's going to consist of around 2% to the upside. Okay, it's going to consist of around 2% to the upside, which, yes, it is bullish. Yes, there's money to be made here, but we need to be cautious, because there is areas that need to be respected, and there is resistance points all the way up here. Okay, I'm going to mark in a few, and what are we going to be using these for? We're going to be using these for take profits, guys, because we're not just going to be blindly going for one take profit completion of the measure move here, which does line up to the all-time high for this current move to the upside for Bitcoin. So this is looking fairly strong in terms of a nice little leg up, and obviously Bitcoin's very, very bullish. The trend is obviously bullish on the macro right now. It's looking really, really good, really strong. So trend is your friend. We're going to ride that bad boy till the end. Okay, so we're looking for this move to the upside around 2.06%, looking pretty strong. In terms of an entry point for this position, I would like to plot in a horizontal like that, just because you can see all of the levels of support along this. Very, very, very strong. We've tested this multiple times. Obviously, heavy resistance there, heavy resistance there. Tried to get some support, didn't quite get it. And that's why we know that this point here at around 43,600 is going to be a point that we need to be looking at to break for support. If we can get that support, we could be riding that straight up to our first take profit, okay? So the point I'm looking for here is 43,600. When we get support on that, then it's likely that we're going to run up. So the entry point, okay, the entry point I want to look for here, it's going to be, you know what, it's going to be a bit trickier. It's going to be trickier because the reasoning for this is, guys, one, this gap is quite big, okay? This gap is quite big. It's worth around 0.76%, and for a scalp, if you're going for your first take profit at 0.76%, it's quite risky. Okay, it's quite risky to get reversed on. So now I'm going to be looking at candle body closes, and when we see candle body closes, how high do we go? Okay, so obviously this is all freehand, guys. I'm doing this off the bat here. So if we're looking at candle body closes, we've got this candle body close, which is very, very crucial, and that's sat at this level around 43.7. Okay, so let's mark that in for now, and let's see, because once we hit this zone, once we have a candle body close here, guys, we actually slammed it down. Okay, so we don't want to be entering unless we have a candle body close significantly above that, or we have a closer take profit, okay? Or we have a closer take profit that we can plot in. So again, more candle body closes here that didn't see momentum to the upside. So we're going to be putting them in as well, dead on the same area, okay? So we can actually be using that to our advantage, just something along the lines of that. So yeah, this is the point that we need to be looking out for there. From that point, how high did we go? Not that high, guys. 43,700. Okay, so this is sort of going to be an area I would be looking for. So I would like a candle body close, okay, above. So let's get rid of this for a second. Above this area, 43.6, and then our first take profit is going to be lined up at 43.746. Very, very achievable here. Looking really, really strong. If we can get this first take profit coming up. Stop loss. What are we going to be doing for our stop loss? So let's get this drawn in terms of a risk reward position. You guys know I love my one-to-ones, so let's get that drawn in for a second. And yeah, let's get our one-to-one drawn in and then see if we can get some sort of estimate and move that around and see what risk-reward ratio we're going to be working with for this position, okay? So just want to check that I'm actually live because, yeah, I am live. It is coming through. All good stuff. I just thought I'd double check on the stream. And yeah, so you can see this is the point that we're going to be looking for here. It's going to be 43,600 and the stop loss. Let's get some more indicators in for the short term and let's see what we could what we can really be looking at. I'm going to be looking for the volume weighted ATR bands, guys, straight away here on this fine Friday. Volume weighted ATR bands coming through. We've obviously got the 60-minute coming up really, really strong. We've tested that, found resistance, and come down again. Obviously, we are bullish, guys. So if we come up and test this again, the likelihood of us getting rejected is still pretty likely. Okay, we can be using that to our advantage. So again, we've got the 15-minute creeping down again at this area around 42.6 as well. And then clearly we've got levels coming through something along the lines of this for support 43.1 as well there. So yeah, in terms of a stop loss right now, it's I'm probably just going to leave it at the one-to-one, guys. And the reasoning for this is because if we have any more sort of bullish momentum to the upside, this 15-minute volume weighted ATR band is going to be coming up. The 30-minute is going to be coming up as well. So we're going to be seeing levels actually get hit in terms of volume weighted ATR bands for stop loss levels of support, okay? So if we do see massive rejection to the downside and this position doesn't flow in our favor, then we've definitely got areas to bounce from, okay? We've definitely got areas to bounce from, which is absolutely fine. Really, really, really good stuff there for this potential position. So yeah, this is the position I'm going to be looking for the short-term time frame here for Bitcoin, and I'm going to be leaving the stop loss at a one-to-one for now, and then using these volume weighted ATR bands to trail it up. Okay, that's probably the best idea. Not going to be going directly on them. I'm going to be going probably 1% or something below them, right? Just to take into consideration for these tests to the lower side as and when if we dump to the downside, okay? But yeah, that's going to be the bullish position to the upside that I'm looking for, guys. Really, really, really strong stuff. And again, you've got the volume weighted ATR band coming up on the 4-hour. Really, really strong, this indicator as well. You know the support that we get off this bad boy when we test it. So yeah, very, very crucial stuff. And we actually haven't tested this with momentum to the downside in a long time. So if we do come down to this area, 41.6, we're likely to see a very, very strong bounce from that point, okay? So yeah, just to reiterate, guys, this is the short position that I'm looking for. Really, really, really strong. One-to-one in terms of risk-reward ratio. We've got a bull flag on the top of this uptrend here. Downward sloping parallel channel. They usually break to the upside. It will be testing the high for this trend at around 44.5 if we get there. Staggering to take profits all the way up. Looking really, really strong. One-to-one risk-reward ratio. Moving on to the midterm time frame for Bitcoin here, because it's the same position, guys. It's the same position. We're not going to go into that right now, but I just want to talk about market structure here on the short-term time frame and see what we could actually be looking for here in terms of potential chart patterns. I mean, one thing that is screaming out right now, it is going to be if I can find it on here, it is going to be a head and shoulders chart pattern, guys. Obviously, we've got this move coming up like so. Left shoulder, we've got a bit of a head. If we come down, guys, come down to these sorts of areas, we could see something along the lines of this, right? We could see something along the lines of this. And if this is going to happen, then we need to be taking into consideration for dumps, okay? Dumps to the downside and basically falling back down inside of this chart pattern, okay? Now, with ETFs, with a lot of stuff coming through for crypto, for us really to come down to this sort of 41,000 level, it's pretty hard. And obviously you can see we've got very key levels here: 40, 41.2, 41.7, 42.4, and these are obviously support levels from previous highs in Bitcoin, okay? Previous trends, previous just horizontal levels of support if we can get there on the chart. God damn it. Come on. Yeah, so you can see these levels are very, very crucial, and we have got these plotted in from previous price action there. So yeah, very, very crucial areas to be looking out for here. 40,000, 41.2, and 41.2, 41.3. You can see these numbers just here. Now, if we're talking about a position, guys, if we're talking about a position to the downside, which I'm not really favoring that right now, just because obviously we've got all the ETFs coming through for Bitcoin, and obviously the dates coming through there, and we'll go into the dates very, very shortly on the stream. But for the midterm time frame for Bitcoin right now, if we are looking for a position to the downside, I wouldn't. In my opinion, I'm looking for the upside, right, as we just did discuss on the short term. I would be looking for all of these key levels to break in terms of support. Fairly unlikely. And then I would be looking for a short from this area back down into the chart pattern to bounce off the volume weighted ATR band on the 12-hour. That's going to be from 40,800 all the way down to 38.7. That would be the position if I had to go short. And as I said, I highly doubt we're just going to smash it down like so. There's too much going on in the crypto space right now to just be cascading down. Okay, as the market structure is holding right now, everyone's getting in because of these ETFs, because of the ETF news and all of that stuff. So it's very likely that people are not going to be selling. They're reluctant to sell because a lot of money is potentially going to be made, and obviously we've got the halving as well coming through. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for here on the midterm time frame. Nothing too crazy right now. We did have that bearish divergence coming through, as discussed throughout the week here, earlier on the 5th, and that obviously hasn't slammed us down, but it's given us a bit more of a correction, a well-needed correction. Okay, and that's obviously from the high 44,500 down to around 42.8, which is really, really nice. If we're going to be using this for a market structure high or low, we need to be breaking this high, guys. Okay, we need to be breaking this high at 44.5. Currently, the market structure high or low for this midterm is probably down around 41.2. Yeah, around 41.2. This is a significant pullback from this high breaking, and then we break the high again, guys, and that confirms the higher low. Okay, so 41.2 is the market structure higher low that we're looking at here. If we lose that, then the likelihood of us having midterm market correction and market direction changes will be at around 41.2. So keep your eye on that price. Let's look at the macro here for Bitcoin before getting into the altcoins for today here, guys. Now, I mean, I've been banging on about all of this all week, guys, so I sound a bit like a broken record right now, because it's just the same. Like, we're still waiting for the completion of this massive measure move here on the weekly, and you can see this giant falling wedge here. You can see the resistance from the all-time high, resistance again coming from this area. You can see support coming from these areas here. Very, very, very strong stuff here. So that basically made a falling wedge chart pattern. Falling wedge chart patterns, they tend to usually break to the upside, and that is essentially what's happened here after a very strong retest of the support of 25k, which is the market structure higher low on the macro, which we will go into in a second. So the completion of this measure move, as you can see drawn in like so, is going to be up to the top side. Okay, it's going to be up to the top side like this, and it's going to be up to the Fibonacci retracement of the 0.786. Very interesting, because that is from the all-time high of Bitcoin to the bear market low, and this will be around 50,000. And we know how these whole numbers react, guys, especially in crypto. So if we do see a massive move to the upside, if we do see this bullish momentum continue here, because obviously we have had, like, I think it's going to be 8 bullish weeks in a row in 2 days and 19 hours. If that is going to happen, then we need something in my eye. We need a significant correction, guys. We do need a significant correction. And if we are going to see bullish momentum coming through for the next couple of weeks or so, then 0.786 is the area to be basically getting slammed down from there, right? And that's going to be pretty aggressive if that does happen, I think. And it is going to be probably around 50,000, guys, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, in terms of market structure, guys, you've got, let's jump down to the daily for market structure right now. You've got obviously got the high getting broken here at 44,500. Very, very strong higher high there. The most recent higher low that we do have here on the macro, guys, this is very, very important, on the macro is all the way back down at 25,000, okay? Yes, you might say we've had pullbacks, but they haven't been significant. Okay, they haven't been this significant for the macro trend see the reversal. The point that we're going to be looking for here is going to be 25. If we see a pullback down to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement and we see consolidation there and then we break the high, then yes, this is going to be the higher low. But we haven't done that, guys. We haven't had a significant pullback at all. We haven't to find support. The last time this did happen and we did break the high was back at 25,000, guys. So essentially we're still bullish for Bitcoin if we're at this area, okay? If we're still bullish for Bitcoin if we're above 25,000, okay? So very, very crucial stuff. We could even dump all the way down here and we could have a price reduction of around 40% for this asset for Bitcoin and still see bullish momentum continue, right? Still see the market structure hold up there. Just looking at the chat, we've got Leo in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat there, Leo. Hello to you. Hope you're having a fantastic day, as am I on this lovely Friday. Talking stochastic RSI, guys, this is getting important because you can see earlier on in the week we spoke about this crossover, okay? We're at this very overbought scenario here for Bitcoin on the daily. This crossover, we said we're either going to see a pullback or we're going to see some sideways momentum to bring this stochastic down. This is where it gets quite interesting, guys, because on the daily here, you can see we're doing that. We're seeing a pullback over the last sort of day or so. Not huge, but a little bit of negative price action, okay? Last couple of days, we've had those bearish candles. Now, that has caused the stochastic to come down a little bit. If we're looking at the weekly chart on the stochastic, guys, not good. Okay, and this is basically telling us that we need to see a bearish week coming through. I mean, we've had nearly 8 bullish weeks in a row. We need a bearish week, and if we look at previous crossovers, previous highs on these areas, you can see we flatlined here where we are currently back in April 2023. From there, guys, we got absolutely wrecked. Okay, we had a nice deduction in the price of around 20%. And again, up at this area again, guys, we had a nice pullback. And these pullbacks are healthy. Don't get me wrong, they're healthy. 11% there, very, very strong. Again, another big pullback coming through from here from the stochastic crossovers and stochastic being really overbought here, okay? This happens pretty much every time, okay? At this top side, again, bang, crossover to the lower side. Massive, massive price reduction here, guys, okay? 24%. So what does this tell us? We're currently flatlining in this zone. We're due a pullback. We're due a significant pullback. And if we're going to be using areas, Fibonacci, bull market barriers, market structure, higher lows for a prediction for these areas, for this pullback, guys, it's going to be 10% would get us down to around the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. That's going to be 38,800. And also, we've got a CME gap coming down as well, which we will go into in a second. And obviously, we're just about to open another CME gap for the weekend coming through, so we will look at the predictions for that very, very shortly. But yeah, you can see we've got a 10% move to the downside if that is going to be the pullback that we're looking for here for the stochastic. And also bull market barrier level of support 35,000. 33.6 as well there, guys. So very, very, very strong stuff. What I would sort of predict if we are going to have this pullback, well, it's not sort of an if, it's more of a when. I would say it will be a catastrophic dump. A lot of buying pressure has come in. A lot of people are getting in, FOMOing into this right now. If we see ETFs get delayed continuously, what we're probably going to see is not going to be absolute death wicks to the downside. I think it's just going to be a gradual downtrend, okay? It will start to get a bit more a lot less bullish because a lot less confidence is coming through for Bitcoin. And let's go into the ETF deadlines for a second, guys. I know we covered this in yesterday's video, but the ETF deadlines that we're looking at here, very, very crucial stuff because they're not very close. I won't lie. And we know the SEC, they try and drag it out as long as physically possible here. So you can see we've got the next deadline coming through on around mid-January here for a lot of the crucial ones here. You can see obviously the main one is BlackRock because they've only ever had one ETF actually declined before, and that was for basically not having the right transparency in it. So the likelihood of this getting declined is fairly unlikely, but getting longed out, if you will, pretty bad English, but getting longed out and taking a long time to actually come through, guys, this is very likely, okay? And if this is going to happen, then this basically means the mid-March, 15th of March, we're going to be waiting for the final deadline to come through. So what does that mean in terms of momentum for Bitcoin, for crypto? It basically means right now, a lot of this is this is quite new news, okay? It's quite new news, and a lot of people are like getting quite excited about it, and the word's traveling, word of mouth and all that good stuff for crypto, and that's why we are seeing this momentum coming through week in continuously, right? This can only happen so much, okay? This can only happen so much without these significant pullbacks. So if we are going to be waiting till March, we're not going to have literally bullish months continuously going up until March. It's just not going to happen. It won't happen. We will have pullbacks and we will have momentum dying. There's only so much money that will be put into crypto that has the confidence of crypto, right? And what I mean by that, if we're looking at all-time highs, guys, at around 69,000, that was the top point. That was where the most amount of money came into crypto. We're getting there, guys. We're only 20,000 bucks, or yeah, 26,000 bucks away from all-time highs there. So this basically means how much more money do we have from a FOMO basis in terms of the crypto market share at the moment to be putting in based on this ETF prediction. So the prediction for that is probably going to trickle up a little bit more, maybe, and then slowly momentum's going to die, and then we're just going to see people slowly selling off because it's going to be taking a long time for these ETFs to come through. And then the halving comes, and then we just absolutely moon. But that's a whole other video. But yeah, that's sort of what I would be saying here for the ETF deadlines and for Bitcoin and this very nice market structure and looking really, really good. But just remember, guys, we need pullbacks, we need structure. Otherwise, it's not going to be very, very good. In terms of money flow index, guys, I want to just cover this very quickly. I haven't really covered this week because in reference to the stochastic, as we just said here, guys, we are due a pullback on the weekly. We've obviously got the hash rate looking really, really strong as well. And this is the one. Money flow index, as you can see, very, very, very high, guys. When we see these negative crossovers, this is sort of when we do see the moves to the downside start to be created there. As you can see, nice big red splodge there on the money flow index, and you can see nice bit of downwards momentum. You can see the crossover it's pretty far away right now, but if we do see sideways action, if we do see momentum start to slow down, then the likelihood of us actually having this crossover and seeing that come through is going to be very, very good. Free indicator as well, guys. Money flow index, go check that out. Just search in the indicators tab and it's all good to go. And that, I'm basically referencing that with the stochastic RSI, guys. So if we do see the weekly coming down, probably next week we might see a pretty flaccid, maybe a doji star candle week. If that is going to happen, money flow index crossover as well, then we're likely to see a bit of a dump to the downside, or not so much a dump, but more of a correction for Bitcoin, right? Let's talk dominance. Let's talk CME gaps, and let's see if we can get some sort of prediction for the weekend of what we could be looking for. I've got a bit of a bad throat today, so energy isn't as high as normal. But yeah, Stephen Sainsbury in the chat saying, have a great show. Thinking about quick swap to Polygon. Any thoughts? Just started watching. Going to watch from there. Yeah, I could jump to Polygon for you quickly, Stephen, if you would like. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Bit-o-matic. Love a bit-o-matic. So yeah, just going to do a quick analysis on Polygon for Stephen, and then we're going to get back to Bitcoin dominance and obviously Bitcoin CME gaps, because that's very, very important. But yeah, Bitcoin, Matic right now, let's get a couple more indicators in there. And let's see what we're working with. In terms of market structure right now, we're looking very, very bullish. Obviously, we've seen highs of this run come up at around 98 cents. Significant pullback, looking very, very strong. Matic there, really, really good stuff. Let's talk market structure. Let's get rid of these indicators and let's get some market structure lines, higher lows and higher highs drawn in. You can see the low for the bear market was sat at around 49, which I'm sure you know already. This is obviously the high to break. We broke the high, a little bit of a pullback in. It is significant because there's nothing really else coming through for this. So I will be using that as the higher low structure for us to be looking out for there. And then obviously we break the high here, guys. Just coming through, we break the high, coming up, significant pullback coming through around this area, and then we break the high again. So in terms of market structure here, I would like to bang a higher low in here, which you're not going to like what I'm going to say, Stephen, because if this is going to be a higher low and this is going to be a market structure higher low, then we have tested that pretty significantly, right? We've tested that pretty significantly, and we have broken that maybe a couple times here. So now, what are we looking for in terms of a market structure reversal? Okay, this is where it gets quite interesting, and we can get some Fibonacci coming through in here as well for retracements and see where we're at, because this is a great example from an educational standpoint to be learning. Okay, so this is the higher low, guys, and we've obviously come down. We've tested that level of support. We've broken that level of support, and now we're coming back up to this lower high. Okay, this lower high, which was confirmed. Okay, this has been confirmed because we've broken the low. Okay, we've broken the low of the previous pullback. So now we're testing this area right now. Technically, yes, it does mean reversal in the trend. Okay, it does mean reversal in the trend. This market structure is not looking great, and we're basically probably going to test this area here at 86,000 and see a bit of a pullback. Okay, that's what I would say for Matic right now. If we break this area, the next pullback zone is going to be 92. But let's look at the confirmation of Fibonacci and let's see if we've got the 0.5 area. There we go. There we go. So if we break the 0.5 area, guys, which is the middle zone of Fibonacci, this essentially means that we have the significant market structure reversal. Okay, and that basically is the confirmation that we're looking for, that bearish reversal for that. We actually tested this twice. We broke it a little bit, but you see, when we see a dump coming through like this, very, very, very strong, sometimes these Fibonacci areas can get tested, and it can happen too fast. Okay, it can happen too fast, and it can be a bit of a fake out scenario. Okay, you can see again, we did test it, and we held a candle body close here on the daily and found that support. So in terms of, are we seeing market structure reversal? It does look like in just general market structure, yes, in terms of higher lows, lower highs, higher highs getting broken, it does. But with Fibonacci not breaking that 0.5 with a significant move to the downside and even testing the 0.618, I would say no, we are still bullish here. But what I would say is momentum is dying from this massive move to the upside, okay? So what I would expect here, obviously massive pullback, is a test of the 0.236, which would pretty much just about to test here for Matic, and that's going to be around 86 cents. We're going to see a move to the downside from there. How big is that move going to be? Who knows right now? Let's go candle body close that area. You can see testing support, testing support, testing support. Probably would say if we are going to be respecting market structure here, guys, I would like to come down. I would like to test this area and then take another run up, break this as a level of support, come down again, and then come up and test this high. If we can do that for Matic, it's going to be looking really, really, really strong here. And yeah, we're going to be breaking that high. And then the next high that we need to break after 98 cents would be probably 106, or no, it'd definitely be there. Yeah, definitely be there. Just going to bang a horizontal in there at 103. And again, it's coming up to these whole numbers as well there, guys. I mean, look, you can see the resistance from this zone. So yeah, it's coming up to these whole numbers again. So these $1, these $2, these $1.50s, they usually have very strong pullbacks. Okay, so that's what I would say for Matic right now. Just looking at it briefly for you there, Stephen. But jumping back to Bitcoin, for Bitcoin dominance and CME gaps for the weekend. Very, very interesting stuff, guys. And if you are just joining the stream, we do stream Monday and Friday and videos continuously throughout the week. Altcoins, Bitcoin, really, really good stuff. So if you are liking the content, make sure you drop a sub and obviously ring the notification bell. I think this is the, there it is. There's the one. Yeah, let's keep going in this live stream. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance, guys, because what have we been saying all week? This area of resistance is very, very crucial. And we've hit it and slammed ourselves down, right? And I did say throughout the week, if we break this high, we hit this area of resistance, what happens? Okay, we see resistance coming through. This basically means altcoins are now going to start moving on their own. The altcoins that we're going to see start moving, ADA, Solana. What do you know? Let's have a look at these altcoins right now. We've got Solana. What's Solana doing today? Solana's done 5.6% today. What's ADA done? ADA's done 3% today. Whereas Bitcoin's only at 0.5%. CRV's done 5% today. So it's these key areas of resistance where Bitcoin dominance finds it hard to keep going up. When this starts coming down, it basically gives us the sign that altcoins are going to be moving on their own. So this is a very, very crucial thing we need to be watching every single day. I see Leo's requesting in the chat saying Solana and AVAX. Absolutely, let's do some TA on that. That sounds really, really good. Just gonna finish Bitcoin and then we can just start hitting home with these altcoins for like around half an hour or so, because I want to get some nice stuff on my watch list. That'd be cool. But yeah, so that's what I would say about Bitcoin dominance, guys. We are coming down. Price action channel looking pretty strong, around 53%. When we come down to this area and we do see a bounce, likely to basically have your altcoins following Bitcoin again, guys. So that's when you really want to be watching the Bitcoin price again. Very, very strong stuff. Now, CME gaps, guys. We got CME gap from last week, currently at 40,000 all the way down to around 39.1. Now this is, how should I say this? It's achievable. Okay, it's very, very achievable for a pullback. I mean, we were talking about this significant pullback down on the macro time frame, 8 bullish weeks in a row. So if we are going to be marking this in, it's going to be 40,400 to 39.2. 40,400. Did I just closed the macro chart? Ah, god damn it. Oh. Well, that's a bust. Okay, very annoying. Is what it is. What can you do? But yeah, the areas to be looking out for a pullback this weekend, guys. It's going to be, well, it doesn't need to be this weekend, but over the next few weeks, it is going to be very crucial that we do fill this gap for a pullback in terms of momentum, okay? We do have CME gaps down at around 29,000 and, yeah, 29,800, 29,700. So if we do see catastrophic dumps, we do see court cases coming through from all angles and stuff like that. And this is one thing that I did want to touch on as well, guys. I think someone's just come out on one of the big news channels, this big finance woman, and basically said that crypto's funding terrorism and all this stuff, right? With the halving coming up, with this massive bull run coming up, guys, we're gonna see regulation really, really stamp it up. Okay, a lot of people are saying this is going to be the last sort of big bull run that you can be making a lot of money on, because the regulators are really going to be stamping down on this stuff stamping down on crypto and decentralization, and putting really strict laws in place over the next sort of 2 to 3 years or so. Okay, and we obviously know bear markets can last a long time. So people are saying that this last bull run is going to be very significant and might not last. Well, it might not last that long, but it's going to be one of the last opportunities to make money, right? So yeah, with this being said, obviously the bullish momentum for the CME gaps, guys. If we do see something come through, a massive news article, and with the halving and how predictable the bull run can be, the likelihood of the guys at the top stopping the guys at the bottom making money and putting some regulation in place or something along the lines of that, right? It's getting ever so more likely, okay? And if that is going to happen, we're going to obviously see huge crashes in prices for Bitcoin. And this is what I'm saying with the CME gaps coming through at around 29,000 and obviously 27,000 as well. Yet to be filled, guys. They're yet to be filled. So these are very, very crucial areas. First one that we need to be looking at is going to be 40,300 to 39,200. Very, very strong stuff. Now, if we do see, well, we're going to see this the CME close. Okay, the CME close is going to obviously be in 15 hours and 54 minutes. So yeah, wherever the CME closes and wherever Monday opens, it's going to be interesting. It's obviously going to cause us a gap. So whether we see bullish momentum against the upside, we're going to probably see another gap maybe like that, right? If that is going to happen, then it's going to be another area for us to fill for the next big move to the downside, okay? So obviously we know what happened last weekend. We absolutely mooned, okay? We mooned over the weekend from 39 to 40. So we'll just see where and as this is gonna, if this is gonna happen, right? So looking at this right now, if CME is gonna close around this area, we see a dump over the weekend, we're gonna see a very strong CME gap like that, but which is absolutely fine if we see it to the lower side here, because we're just gonna fill it. We'll fill it really, really easily when we pull back for Bitcoin. Let's move on to some altcoins, guys, and let's look at crypto bubbles today. Obviously, you can see Bonk. I guess this is another meme coin or something. And I see Pro Products coming through there in the chat. I will be doing an Ethereum update for you very, very shortly. Just going to do Solana and AVAX for Leo first. And yeah, good stuff. So yeah, looking at Bonk, guys, 38% to the upside. OP, 25%. Clay, Solana up 12% for the day, looking really, really strong. Altcoins in general, guys, moving on their own, looking very, very bullish, as we were referring to Bitcoin dominance having that resistance coming through. So good stuff. Fit and Greed Index, guys. You greedy. You're too greedy, man. 72%. Not liking that. It's been continuously on an uptrend over the last few months or so. We need significant pullbacks to come through. Just looking on-chain quickly. Bitcoin miner reserves, guys. We broke this low, okay, this essentially higher low that we needed to respect, and we have been testing over the last month or so. We actually broke that with significant downside yesterday, which is not great, okay? When the miners are selling off their Bitcoin like this, then it basically shows very, very strong bearish momentum, okay? So not great on that front. And also fund holdings taking a bit of a stagnant sort of move here, and this is essentially meaning all the people holding Bitcoin in their digital assets, trusts, ETFs, all that good stuff coming through. Well, not so much ETFs, but But yeah, not great. For it's bearish. Okay, it's two very strong bearish signs there for Bitcoin, which obviously has an effect on the market. Now, moving on to altcoins, let's have a look at Solana. Okay, let's look at Solana from a macro perspective. We'll start off with. I mean, let's get rid of all these. This is obviously from before. Let's get rid of that and let's look at Solana, because very, very crucial stuff. A lot of news coming out about Solana, and a lot of people are very, very bullish on this blockchain itself, and too right to be so, right? Too right to be so. I would say I'm very bullish as well, and we are seeing Solana at a $30 billion market cap right now. Absolutely insane. They are sixth in the altcoin race right now, well, the crypto race right now, looking really, really strong in terms of market structure, in terms of areas to be looking out for there for trading this asset. I would say, obviously, we've just broken this high at around 71, looking really bullish overall for the day after seeing this sideways action with Bitcoin dominance creeping up continuously. We broke this high here at 68. I would say, guys, heavy resistance is due. Okay, we've got the 3-day volume weighted ATR band. Okay, we've got the 3-day. This is usually very, very strong. I don't know whether we're going to get the data. No, we're not going to get the data here, but if we're looking at volume weighted ATR bands, let's look at the daily for a second, okay, just for a point of reference here. When we see us cross the daily volume weighted ATR band, which is this one here, this little line here, we usually see either massive momentum and then we come down and test it. So if we do come down for Solana and test this volume weighted ATR band on the daily, we're going to see at least a 10 to 20 to 30% bounce for this asset. And if we don't, we see heavy resistance, okay? So let's see if we can get some more examples from that for you guys to see. No, can't really see that much. Annoying. That's obviously Bybit's data, not great, but you can see just there a little bit of support coming through from that point. But yeah, genuinely volume weighted ATR bands, guys, very strong levels of resistance and support to be looking out for there. The shorter time frames aren't as reliable, okay, which is obviously these here. I think it's a 30-minute or the 15-minute. They're not as reliable, and we do break and ride these quite a lot, kind of like moving averages here. As you can see on the 4-hour, guys, we've ridden this bad boy up really strong here. So what I would be looking for to confirm the reversal for this asset right now, this pullback for Solana, because we're not just going to keep going up, guys. It's one thing is volume weighted ATR band on the 3-day, likely to see heavy resistance if we get a 4-hour candle body close below the 4-hour, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, if we jump to the 4-hour and in the next sort of we'll be in the next 3 days, okay? So if we're looking at the daily, if we stay below this area on the daily, okay, we're likely to see either consolidation right now until we break the 4-hour, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, if we jump to the 4-hour and over the next few days, if we just bounce between these, that's absolutely fine. But if we lose this 4-hour volume weighted ATR at any point, you can see we're going to get slammed, okay? We're likely to get really slammed to the downside, okay? And obviously we can test this, so please be aware for that as well, to make sure your stop losses are wide and all that good stuff, and the support is obviously strong as well. But you can see the consolidation in this area can be very crucial, okay? So what I would be looking for here is basically a pullback for Solana. I don't think that we have that much more leg room in the tank. We've broken the high. In terms of market structure, guys, this is probably going to be the higher low point. Just looking at it there, this is going to be a very strong higher low here, because you can see we tested that multiple times in terms of support. This is obviously the higher high coming through, breaking that higher high. When we break higher highs, guys, we usually come back down and test the previous high. So that is essentially going to be below the 4-hour. When we lose that, the likelihood of us losing this high is very strong, and you can see the resistance from this zone before, very strong indeed. So if we're looking at percentages for this move to the downside, it was a 20% move for that. Would I say momentum is going to be as strong to the downside for Solana right now? No, we're obviously in a bullish market structure. It's looking really strong with breaking highs. So let's just do a 50% reduction on a potential lower high for us to be referencing here. And that's going to be around 10%. That would put the price around $61 or so. Just remember, guys, we're not just going to keep going up. Again, like here, when we broke this high, smashing it to the upside, we have to have these significant pullbacks to make the market structure valid. Right now, we've been trending up again for a while. You can see we're getting to this parabolic motion again. We might see a nice wick up and then get slammed down. Not quite that much, but there is a pullback in the water. It's a pullback in the water. No, there's definitely a pullback that needs to be had for Solana. Okay, so be prepared for that. I would be buying the pullback. Obviously not financial advice, do your own research, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be Solana done up. Let's do a bit of AVAX. do a little bit of AVAX. I did a video on AVAX earlier on in the week, guys. If you want to go check that out, on how high AVAX could be going in the next run, and how much money we could be making from that asset if we're buying it now. Very, very, very insane percentages there. You can see 7.7x there, up to that Fibonacci retracement. But let's look at AVAX right now, and let's look at market structure. Let's look at areas of potential resistance. I mean, you can see straight away. Need I talk anymore? Higher low, higher low, higher low market structure areas. This is obviously the higher high. We've just broken higher highs yet again for AVAX. Seeing a bit of consolidation in this area. Momentum slowly dying for this move. Haven't tested the volume weighted ATR band on the 4 hour just yet, so I would expect to come down and test that. Now, obviously you can see this filthy giant red box. This filthy giant red box actually is going to be a very, very strong level of resistance that we can reference from before, from that lovely uptrend to the upside here. So this basically is saying that we're going to see some resistance from this area. And the reason why I'm referencing that right now, guys, is because, oh, my stomach, I need to eat some food, man. It is going to be because the 4 hour volume weighted ATR band's coming up. So if we do come up, we test this, we like to come down, come up, test it again, and then consolidate between the volume weighted ATR band on the 4 hour and this lovely red box zone. Okay, that is still breaking highs, still bullish, looking really, really strong for AVAX right now. Love a bit of avalanche. But please be aware, guys, if we lose the 4 hour volume weighted ATR band, look how far away the daily and the 12 hour is. Very, very far to the lower side. And you can see support, support, support here. I think that's the 12 hour running up there. So if we do come down, touch that, likelihood of getting support. But if we lose the 4 hour, guys, there's a lovely short position there to be taking advantage of, in my opinion. I would say you can see when we lose the 4 hour, bang, straight to the downside, straight to the 12. And I think that's the daily as well coming up. So we've tested the daily. You can see when we came up, coming through, resistance, came up, found support, very nice, found support again, tested it, banged it right to the upside. Very, very strong momentum for the daily. So this is going to be an area, if these two are colliding together, which you can see these two are literally, they might as well be mating each other right now. If we come down, test these two together, and they're literally in sync, then the support is going to be strong. Okay, it's going to be very, very strong. It's just where are we going to be testing them, and how big is that move going to be? I would say, let's look at previous moves from these volume weighted ATR bands. You can see, that was the wrong tool. You can see just like so, worth around 17% in one significant move to the upside. Again, you can see nice little move, a little bit higher than that, 12% there. And again, you can see another move like so, 15%. Okay, so these coming together is probably going to do like at least a 5% move to the upside here for AVAX, guys. So the price that we need to be looking out for that is going to be $20.76. And yeah, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Let's move on to, what was next? AVAX, thank you. Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum for pro products. Just gonna drink of my tea. And let me know if you're watching in the chat, guys. Say hello. Don't be embarrassed. Say hello. All good stuff. Now, Ethereum. I've seen a lot of stuff on X about this. And guys, if you want to follow my X account, go and do that now. As you can see here, link is in the description. And basically, I do updates on the charts and everything on my X account continuously throughout the day. My trading throughout the day. So yeah, if you do want to follow that, you're more than welcome. Now, very crucial stuff for this asset, okay? Now, what I'm saying here is I'm going to be jumping to the weekly, and I'm going to get rid of all that for a second. And we're just going to be looking at this from a market structure perspective and trend lines very briefly, okay? I just want to break this down for you guys. You can see, obviously, the bear market low for Ethereum went down to 875, currently priced at around 2,379 with a lot of bullish momentum to the upside. One thing that is very positive about this asset right now is the fact that Bitcoin dominance is coming down. Bitcoin dominance is coming down, which essentially means altcoins like Ethereum can now begin to move on their own, okay? And this basically means bullish momentum to the upside. Very bullish on Ethereum, okay? The reasoning for this is, guys, is you can see this trend line. We're breaking this trend line. We're breaking the level of resistance that we have had previously. And in terms of confirming this, I want to see a weekly close in the next 2 days and 18 hours above 22.5. If we can get a close above 22.5, we're likely to see a nice, actually probably a little bit higher than that. Not be hasty here. It's going to be 22, only 10 bucks higher. 22.67, right? That's going to be a very strong area to be looking out for there. Candle body close on the weekly above that, especially with this level of support, this horizontal coming through from this area as well at 22.9, I think that is. That is going to be the point to be looking out for there. In terms of a massive move to the upside that we could be taking full advantage of here, a prediction for Ethereum's price could do something like that, right? It's going to be huge. It's going to be pretty significant. It's going to be worth around 30%, and that will put Ethereum back at around $3,000, okay? People are saying this asset is really going to explode over the next few weeks or so, so please be aware for that, guys. And obviously, if the markets crash, Ethereum will crash as well. It's just how it works, unfortunately. So yeah, in terms of Fibonacci, let's get rid of that and let's do Fibonacci from all-time high to all-time low, and let's see how bear market low, and let's see how we can react in terms of retracement zones for market structure for us to be referencing. Now, what do you know? Are we lining up? Are we lining up? Not quite. No, we're not lining up. We've got the there should be one in there. Yeah, not like there's not. But yeah, this is directly between the 0.5 and the 0.236. So there should be a Fibonacci in there, but it's not actually on my chart, which is weird. It should be. But yeah, so this is definitely an area of resistance, guys, is what I'm basically saying. We need to basically watch this area for resistance. We'd like to get slammed down here at some point. We need a pullback. Market structure is looking very bullish. Okay, we're still breaking highs, looking really good. In terms of higher lows, that was wrong. In terms of higher lows, guys, for the weekly here, we've still got a higher low. I mean, it's pretty low. It's down at 1,400 bucks, okay? Not nice. This is not nice for market structure, guys. We need, because obviously we just broke this high, so this is obviously now confirmed higher low. In terms of seeing a market reversal, I want to see us break this point to come down lower. If we break this point, guys, it's confirmation that we're going to head down lower. But right now, in terms of setting a new higher low, that's essential. We really need to do that for Ethereum. Otherwise, we're not gonna have the continuation that we're looking for without a massive crash. Okay, so in terms of a nice pullback, we've got obviously the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement here, and that is obviously a very crucial point because we all know, guys, the 0.5 is the area where we have the confirmation for the reversal of the trend. Okay, so obviously we've got the all-time high here for Ethereum coming down to the swing low of the bear market. We need to clear 2,800 or 2,900, 2,886. If we can clear that, then in terms of support, right? Obviously, we will probably test it first, and when we clear it, find that support on this Fibonacci, then we're likely to see insane price movements to the upside. So the confirmation for the trend reversal again is the 0.5 for Fibonacci, right? But yeah, in terms of resistance right now, guys, this would be the area I probably would see a bit of a pullback coming through, and especially with how many bullish weeks we've had on Bitcoin and now Ethereum. We're going to need a pullback, guys. We're going to need that highlight to be set. So Stephen Sainsbury says, got 11 coins, thinking of adding one more quick swap. Thanks, great show. Do appreciate it, Stephen. Thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't dropped a like on the stream already, do appreciate it if you could. Just help us get a little bit more viewers, bringing people into the crypto sphere. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, that's going to be Ethereum, guys, on the macro. We could do... Why don't we do the micro? Let's do the micro. Why not? Why the hell not? Because we were talking about this throughout the weekend, and I think it was maybe Monday's stream we referenced this measure move to the upside here, and seeing how strong it could actually be here. And you can see the move coming up all the way completed. Very, very strong stuff as well. So nice move for Ethereum there. Let's see what sort of price action we could be looking for now, and what sort of chart patterns are going to be screaming at us. So let's, I'm going to keep this level of support that I already have plotted in, so I can get rid of that. Good stuff. And we're going to be looking at just clean trend lines, guys. We're going to look at clean trend lines because clearly you can see we've got a nice move to the upside from here, and this is where we're going to be looking for potential areas of support, okay? Because there is points here. Obviously, we are in a very strong uptrend, and okay, I don't know what that was. It's obviously the link to the live stream. I wanted to do that. This is going to be the parallel channel that we could be using for this. Can't really see that much confluence with this parallel channel. Little bit here in terms of resistance, in terms of support. Nothing too crazy, but definitely something to be looking out for there, guys. If we do see us come up to a price point for Ethereum, I would say 2,460 is a very clean cut move to the downside from that point, okay? So definitely an area for Ethereum to be rejected from, okay? Good stuff. Yeah, coming up to an hour, guys. Going to be ending the stream at an hour, just because I only do an hour now. I will be doing longer streams in the future, but do appreciate you all stopping by, and I will be back on Monday for another market summary update. Oh, God. Pretty tired as well. Need to eat some food. But yeah, in terms of Ethereum right now, I would say a nice reversal point is either where we're at right now. You can see momentum slowly dying, nearly getting that doji star candle here on the 4 hour, and then maybe a move to the upside of 2,400, and then resistance coming down from that point. In terms of a trade, guys, this is kind of getting into the macro again, but if we're going to be breaking this trend line, then there is a move down, okay? And the move I'm referencing is going to be probably, the measure move is going to look something like this, right? Not too steep, not too shallow, but still money to be made if we break that support. In terms of percentages, obviously this is in the future, guys. It's going to be worth around 9%. There's going to be a pullback of around 9%. There's potentially going to be a pullback of around 9% when we break this uptrend. So yeah, definitely get ready to short that asset as and when it's possible. That's the move, upward slope and parallel channel. That's the measure move. When we see the break of support, we'll like to see that move. Let's move on to some more altcoins, guys. Why don't we have a look at Gala? I know I did a video on Gala that did really well, actually. Video on Gala throughout the week. And yeah, we can just touch on this for a second, because you can see upward sloping parallel channel, market structure looking very, very strong. Upward sloping parallel channels, guys, they tend to usually break to the downside. This is what we are referencing in terms of a position if we did come down to this area. Didn't come down to that area, but we did see a significant pullback from the high of 3 cents, which we did say in the video throughout the week. Really good stuff. And also, we were referencing this bearish divergent chart pattern, guys. Bearish divergence coming through there, and obviously slamming us down to the downside. And again, just looking at it again, guys, you can see we've obviously got a high on the RSI and then a low being created right now, and we do see a high in the price and yeah, a break in the price there. So this basically shows us that it's not confirmed just yet, but that we're likely to see a bearish divergence form again from this area, and that basically means more momentum to the downside for Gala. I mean, guys, let's be honest. Look, we've been so bullish for so long here. We're slamming up to the upside, breaking highs continuously. It's looking really, really good. But in terms of market structure, in terms of market patterns right now, I would be estimating something along the lines of history repeating itself like so, okay? So you're seeing the highs get broken, very, very small highs get broken, and then big pullbacks coming through. So we're seeing highs get broken again, pullbacks coming through, supports getting tested, and then coming up, testing these highs yet again. Very nice, strong market structure for Gala, and you're probably thinking, how can we be profiting from this? How can we be trading from this? We know what's going to be happening. We can jump down to the shorter term time frames, get some chart patterns in there, get some moving averages, get some volume weighted ATR bands, get some bands in here, and just really use these bad boys for levels of support. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking out for here is going to be the 4-hour volume weighted ATR band, guys. You can see we're resting on that right now. There's a pretty significant gap if we lose that to the 12-hour. Very, very strong stuff. Volume weighted ATR bands, very, very good. And then you've obviously got the moving averages and price action channels here, okay? So the area that I'm looking for here is a significant break below this box, okay? A break below this box around 3 cents. There's going to be a nice trade, okay? The last time that this did happen was worth around 3.5% to the lower side here. So there is going to be a little bit of a position here for you losing that support. Very, very nice. You've got the 200 EMA coming up as well. Definitely want to watch out on that one on the hourly, because if this lines up with this, clear take profit, very, very nice, worth around 3.77%. Now, are we going to be blindly going for the 3.77%? No, we're not. The drawing's just terrible, right? No, we're not. We're going to be staggering take profits all the way down as we go, because there's many areas we can get reversed on throughout this move, okay? Many, many areas. I'm not even in the move right now. I'm just finding support. So yeah, we want to be looking out for these areas of support. These levels are very, very crucial. And you can see I'm just referencing previous levels of support throughout these moves over the last sort of day, couple of days or so. So we are going to be shorting this bad boy. We're going for candle body close below the 200 on the 15-minute. We're looking at the hourly below the 55, the price action channel, the 21, the 4-hour volume weighted ATR, and this will be the confirmation that we're going to be going short in this area. And then we're going to be first take profit is going to be 3 cents 0005. Second take profit 297.7, and then basically stop loss to entry right in that wave down. In terms of a risk reward position for this, I would like to do a 1-to-1, guys. You know I like my 1-to-1s. Going to be looking something along the lines of that. Yep, looking pretty good. And what I would say here, having a stop loss this high is actually really good. Okay, it's really, really good, because if we break these levels of support, especially the volume-weighted ATR band, guys, let's just let's show you guys that for a second. You can see volume-weighted ATR band on the 4-hour, this little red line here. Let's look at previous data for that. You can see the resistance on this. Bang, 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 bang. Very, very, very strong resistance, guys, and also support as well. So we're going to be referencing that. If we lose that, and that's obviously going to be the confirmation of the position that we're looking for as well. If we lose that, then the likelihood of us coming up and testing that and losing the support on that is fairly unlikely, right? So it basically means our position is going to be holding strong, and we're likely to see really, really strong TPs coming into play here. Very nice. 3.77% for Gala on the table to be taken. Just a little TA. I would look at a few more things. Obviously, you've got RSI coming down. We did have that bearish divergence on the macro time frame. Oh no, just here. Bearish divergence coming through again, guys. So this is basically gonna mean more downside coming through. So yeah, it's not looking bad. Not looking bad. In terms of other points, trend lines on the RSI, chart patterns on the RSI, can we get anything there? I mean, you can see here we do have a level of support coming through. Okay, so this is actually interesting, guys, because obviously the RSI, if we dump down, yes, amazing stuff. We're going to see the RSI coming down as well. But if we just go sideways, this is the area we're likely to see us consolidate on, okay? And that basically means we're going to be testing this area even if we go sideways on the chart right now. And then we come down to this trend line, and then we wait for a break on the RSI trend line, a break on the massive moving averages, a break on the volume-weighted ATR bands, a break on this giant box zone. Countless things are telling us that there's a short position here for Gala to be taking advantage of. Really, really strong, actually. Good stuff. I'm probably going to do some updates on this on my Twitter. If you guys want to go check that out, go to the link in the description. It's all there, good stuff. But yeah, Gala looking really good for a short position to the downside with this pullback on the micro time frames. Good stuff. Yeah, that's going to be it for Gala. Let's do one more altcoin. 56 minutes on the stream. We're going to be doing 4 more minutes, and then we're going to be calling it a day. Let's have a look at ADA. ADA, look at you. Look at you today. Soaring above highs. Really strong. Really, really strong ADA. I mean, we're only on the hourly, so let's, I mean, even, god damn. ADA, man. Look at you. Broken this high. Very, very strong. Really nice. Above all major volume-weighted ATR bands. Let's throw some MAs in there. Above all MAs. CW bands. Looking really strong. Testing that on the daily as well. So what would I say about this asset? It's goddamn bullish, of course. Now, of course it's bullish, but we need market structure to be holding out in terms of nice, solid pullbacks. We know these moving averages, guys, we tend to usually ride along them. So you can see the 21, which is this yellow moving average here, guys. You can see in this very nice upwards trend, we see pullbacks, we see bounces of support, okay? So the bounces of support to be looking out for there. As this bad boy comes up, it's going to be something along the lines of that, okay? And that does line up really, really strong with the volume-weighted ATR on the 4-hour. So that's going to be a point to be looking out for there as well. Very, very, very nice stuff. I would say with the 21 coming up, obviously we've tested this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now, which essentially is not good, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, if you have, I think I said this this week throughout the stream, if you have like a piece of plasterboard and you punch that piece of plasterboard like 10 times, you're gonna break through it. The support is not going to be there for that bit of drywall. So you're testing this all continuously. It's not going to be there. The support's not going to be there forever, okay? So what are we going to be using? Instead, we got the 55, guys. We haven't tested the 55 so far in this uptrend since breaking it on the daily, okay? So that's going to be a significant bounce to be looking out for there. And hey, if we lose that, we've got the 200 creeping its way up. And I just deleted that indicator. Good stuff. And it's back. Great. Yeah, they've got the 200 EMA coming up as well. But what I would really be looking out for there, guys, is going to be volume-weighted ATR bands on the daily here. We're going to go into some detail on this in a second. You can see resistance, 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 and now we've broken it. What do we need to do now? We need to retest that for support, okay? So if we do see a pullback for ADA, which we're likely to over the next sort of few days or so after seeing this momentum coming through. Very strong, guys. We can't just keep going up. We need to pull back. And I know ADA is in it does like to consolidate for a significant amount of time after we have seen massive moves, right? I mean, it plays out throughout history. 488, massive move to the upside, massive move down, move down, move down. Okay, so the ADA community is strong, but the marketing for ADA is not, I wouldn't say it's that great. Okay. But great project and all that, good fundamentals and very, very strong in the future. But what I would say here is a potential pullback is needed, and a bounce for ADA is looking really, really good. I mean, we're just mooning as I'm talking for ADA right now. I'll keep talking negatively about ADA and it'll just keep going up, right? But yeah, in terms of the bounce points, we've got the volume weighted ATR at the 43 cents, on the daily 41 cents, and on the 12-hour 40 cents, guys. Very, very, very crucial stuff. These are the areas that I would be looking for that bounce point, okay? And can you blindly long these? I mean, you shouldn't, but you can. Yeah, you shouldn't in terms of like a strategy, but they are very, very strong in terms of support with a lot of other things, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will be back on Monday with another stream doing crypto and stuff like that. Again, guys, follow the X if you want updates on chart patterns and everything that I'm doing here. And obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I do post a little bit about that, but don't let that put you off. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I would be saying about crypto today. On the Friday, we've made some good money this week, trading Bitcoin and a load of other altcoins as well. Really, really good stuff. I will be doing altcoin videos continuously now, guys, because they're bringing in a lot of subs. We've gained 100 subscribers this week. Unbelievable stuff, guys. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Really, really good stuff. I see you guys in the comment section. You're loving the TA. You're loving the analysis. So pretty good stuff. Really happy about that. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching.